Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So, here's a very interesting one. You know how Bitcoin has like cycles, not like a unicycle, but like it has like these little things that it goes over every 4 years as we get closer to a halving, as we have a halving. After the halving is done, the price goes up for a good 18 months. Sometimes, depending on how you calculate it, it can go up for 2 years, whatever the period might be. And then we always have those situations where it goes wee and it goes down and it falls back down for about a good year and a half or another 2 years. We see a recovery in the price. That's the cycle. It's been the same for all the other halvings for as long as we've had Bitcoin. It's currently been around for about 14 or so years. You get the idea of it. You've been here before or you've seen it on TV as it was being spoken about. We're in a really weird portion of history right now where it is predicted that the earlier cycles were based off of what people assume to be hype or speculation that something would eventually happen with Bitcoin. That is to say, in the future, we're expecting Bitcoin to be adopted. In the future, we expect for institutions to use Bitcoin. In the future, banks and countries are going to be accumulating Bitcoin. That was the idea of the previous cycles that we've had before. This one, however, is supposed to be a little bit different. I spoke to you before about the idea that a lot of people have that at some point in like the near future, Bitcoin will actually overtake gold. This has to do with the halving and Bitcoin mathematically price to earnings ratio, etc., being able to say that it is rarer than gold, overtaking gold's entire market value price as Bitcoin rises up as well. Tying all into that is the idea that this cycle, once again, will be different. Because if Bitcoin is able to rise in value and then mathematically market cap wise take over the entirety of gold, something that we on this planet have deemed for thousands of years as something that has value as a store of value, therefore then Bitcoin ticks into another asset class. This is why we've also had a lot of news. I told you before, showed you in the other videos where the heads of the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, Fidelity, BlackRock, Grayscale, you name it, have all said that Bitcoin is basically now a brand new asset class that is being heavily invested into. And this is why we see all the news of the ETF all over the place and everyone's completely losing their mind for this thing. If we have moved into a brand new asset class, one that was before speculative to one that is now more ground and has a heavier foundation, here's the idea. Bitcoin might not drop as much anymore. So you know how we have those 2-year periods where Bitcoin goes up, everyone's really excited, something snaps and Bitcoin goes down for 2 years, and then we have to wait until the speculation begins to arise again. What if the speculation doesn't leave? What if the people who are in the market stay in the market? It is widely believed that the last couple bull runs were just heavily by retail investors. Me, you, everyday normal people being like, oh, the prices are going up, and we start buying a lot more. There, of course, were some institutions who were buying, but probably not as much as they wish that they had done before in the past when Bitcoin's price was a lot lower. What happens when we have the institutions, we have the banks, we have the countries now, for those of you who missed it in the other videos, the countries now who are buying Bitcoin. There are about 24 on the planet who are doing so. What happens when we have countries who are actively mining Bitcoin? We have even more who are openly mining than there are those who are openly buying. What happens when you have about 5 different companies that we know of who are worth trillions of dollars, who are actively accumulating Bitcoin, who are planning on having derivatives of Bitcoin, who plan on having ETFs based off of Bitcoin, who plan on having a whole bunch of other products and lending and borrowing and, passive income through the Lightning Network, all with Bitcoin? does Bitcoin still then collapse in price over the course of a 2-year period? Because if Bitcoin collapses, if Bitcoin's price, if Bitcoin's price goes down by a bit, that other institution's going to buy. They're not going to wait for a 2-year cycle to maybe see if the price goes low enough for them to be able to accumulate, because they know that their rival, who has $11 trillion worth of assets, is going to be like, don't wait. Just buy it up. What are you waiting for? Like, the difference in $5,000 per Bitcoin makes no difference to us. We have trillions of dollars at our disposal. Now, what happens when you have 12 companies who are able to do that? What happens when you have 36 companies? What happens when you have hundreds around the world who get it now, who understand this is a new asset class? We have to buy up before other countries buy up. It's also the time. Time is very, very important within crypto. A lot of us tend to look at time within crypto as singular, daily, weekly, and maybe yearly. What happens as an institution or institutions or institutional investors or very wealthy individuals who are planning for generations down the line? Their difference in investing is quite staggering. There is no maybe I'll wait to tomorrow. You do now to prepare for the next 6 months. The idea being that if this cycle is different, we may not actually see low numbers again. There may not be a point where in 2 or 3 years you see an $80,000 Bitcoin and you go, okay, I can finally, begin to accumulate because the prices have fallen back down. Any movement going back down might cause panic in the market by people who are like, now's my time to buy. And if we can say that, we have roughly around 100 million people in the market. And now we definitely have these institutions who are actively, legally, regulatorily getting into the space. Do you think that they'll wait while 300 other companies are going to be buying at the exact same time? Recently, it was said on Bloomberg from an analyst, they said that they're actually expecting Bitcoin to reach 500,000. The difference is that it appears that, as I've said before, the bull rally looks like it's in full swing right now. This was apparently confirmed after we passed by $42,000. You may see movements upward or downward in price. It's usually people taking profits and or testing exactly how low the low is going to be. The report reads, and I do quote, Bitcoin topping $42,000 is just the fresh start of a crypto supercycle that will push the world's biggest token above $500,000 in what people are saying is the new monetary order. That is taking Wall Street by storm. A lot of times, I've said before in other videos, the wording of things and who certain information is for is very particular. When I was younger, as I've told you in other stories, when you watch traditional financial news, it's confusing on purpose and it's only meant for a certain type of person. Rich people are meant to absorb that information and everyone else is meant to simply pass by the channel because I don't know what's going on. What am I supposed to be watching this for? When you hear that Bloomberg, the Wall Street Journal, what's the other one? The other really big financial paper, I can't remember what they're called right now, that they consistently are releasing information on their website talking exactly about how big these assets are going to go, how high the prices are going to go. It means something because that news is for a certain class of people and it's not meant for everyday normal people to know that it's even taking place. Very particular time in history that we're seeing right now. People are now talking about super cycles. People are now talking about exactly how high they believe that Bitcoin is going to go over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. Nonetheless, over the course of the infamous, we will get there, the infamous 2032 for Bitcoin, with the multi million dollar price predictions that we've heard from a lot of different analysts. Yeah, just wanted to fill you in that we may be entering into a super cycle in the idea of speculation, might have actually ended within the space. As you all know, we have at least another 120 years with Bitcoin. And for those of you who missed the other video, 93% of all Bitcoin has already been mined. So get ready for that. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.